I'm doing? All right. I apologize for my tardiness. I had another speaking engagement this morning in Gainesville, and I got another one at 4:30, so back in Gainesville. But when Mr. Dukes asked me to come and be a part of this, there was no way I could refuse because of the kindness that he showed me in my life. And so I did prepare something on paper because I'm a bit long-winded. I figured if I write a script, I'll stick to it and get out of there. I even got a timer. He gave me a certain amount of time. Just want to share a couple of things. I asked some of the young men that I work with, what do you know about Carter G. Woodson? And it was like, Chris Carter, he got a son that he played for the Vikings, and he got a son that played for Ohio State. And Charles Woodson, he won the Heisman. And I said, no, Carter G. Woodson, yeah, those guys, they play football. And it kind of stood out to me to let me know there's a legacy that have been lost. There's information that hasn't been transcended to this particular generation. And I said I would take the opportunity just in case somebody didn't know about Black history and why we're here today. In the 1900s, Carter G. Woodson, at the age of 19, enrolled himself in high school. He taught himself the fundamentals of arithmetic and English. And he was a coal miner in Kentucky. And what he did, he enrolled in high school. He graduated in 2 years. He went on to attend the University of Chicago, ended up getting his PhD at Harvard University. But what he realized in the process of getting this education is that when he looked at his studies, he didn't see anything about people that looked like him. He didn't see anything about our heritage, our culture. And so what he decided to do was start an organization. He also launched a journal called the Journal of the Negro History. And as a part of this, he launched something called the Negro History Week. It was a week to just honor African American history in America. In 1976, President Ford, Gerald Ford, signed a document that stated that it would no longer be a week, but it would be a month. We observe Black History Month. So that's why we're here today. We come here every February and we celebrate this particular moment to remember the things that what he spoke about. Remember the things such as people like Mr. Dukes who led some of the sit-ins right here in this particular city. And so we're here today, but I can speak about all the things that we've heard about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman. I can tell you about those things that we know about. But it would be robbery and a despicable mission of mine if I didn't acknowledge the condition of our race and our culture now. Okay, if I just told you those things just to heighten your emotions for the moment and give you self-gratification, but fail to acknowledge our condition right now. And so if I could say something to you today, it will be that I'm here to launch what I call a socially domesticated investigation of our race. Okay? And somebody stole our jewels. When I look at it, when I look back on history, something happened. Somebody stole our jewels. Tell your neighbor, somebody stole our jewels. Tell them again, say, somebody stole our jewels. Now, what do I mean by that? Young people, I want you to hear me closely. See, it took a mathematical concoction to build the pyramids that no mathematician to this day have been able to unravel how they were able to do that. When you look at the slaves that traveled over the waters, there was a jewel in their heart that gave them the will and determination to endure, to come here. There was a jewel in their heart that trickled from their hearts to their veins in their hands that helped build this majestic land that we call America. Okay, that was in their fingertips, that picked the cottons of this land. That was a jewel. It was the same jewels that got fed up on the bus, the same jewels that got fed up at the lunch halls. It's the same jewels that got fed up with the disparities of education. It's the same jewels that mobilized the feet to march all over this country for racial equality that got tired of the disparities. Okay, but something happened. Somebody stole our jewels. Somebody stole the jewel of the village that we say it takes a village to raise a child. But now the head of that village finds himself incarcerated in prisons all over this country, that now the young man don't know his way because he lacks self-identity. Somebody stole our jewels. And it needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be acknowledged today. So what happened? Where are we now? Why can't we advance on rulings such as Brown versus the Board of Education that gave us and demolished separate but equal. But now our generation, this youthful generation, we turn that to equal but imbalanced. Instead of being proud to sit at the front of the bus, we go straight to the back. Instead of being proud to sit at the front of the classroom and hear the instructions coming from the teacher, we go to the back. Instead of being able to memorize those linear equations to build those pyramids, we rather memorize a verse and a rap. Okay, somebody stole our jewel. I'm here to launch that investigation today. So what is it going to take? You know, I'm a person of hope and belief, but I can't ignore the voice of statistics that tells me that my African American race, we're at the bottom of the totem pole in almost every category that would define success. Okay, when you look at socioeconomic status, we're the most poverty-stricken race there is in America. When you look at percentage, we have the highest disparity of earning a high school diploma. We have overpopulated the correctional facilities with the highest percentage of disproportionate minority contact. Even right here in this county, Madison County, 3 years ago, had one of the highest disproportionate minority contacts in the state of Florida. What happened? Where is it? Where's our generation going? Why when I say Black history to our young men, the first person they say is Dr. Martin Luther King? Is that all we're relegated to? Are we only relegated to a month? When I live as a Black man, 365 days a year, why do I only get a month of this history? Somebody stole our jewels. What happened? But I'm here as a hope. I'm here as a person with hope running through my veins, saying that we must restore. We got to find that diamond in the rough. I look at Barack Obama. He's that diamond in the rough. That when Dr. Martin Luther King stood in the March on Washington, that he looked and he saw Barack Obama being elected as an African American president. I believe in a person like John Odyssey Green II, who father died when he was 17 years old, but went on to graduate in an international baccalaureate program, went on to the University of Florida, became a dentist, a Black dentist, and now is a lieutenant in the United States Army, and he's 31 years old. That's the jewel that needs to be restored in our community. But as this man here said, I heard it a couple of minutes ago, he said, you know, the work that he did. Well, guess what? Madison County had his jewel, and it was called the Johnson-Brinson Project Center. And I stand here today as a product of that center. But see, it meant a little bit more to me. You saw those videos. Many of those people came and they got an opportunity to enjoy the activities at the Johnson-Brinson Project Center. But see, circumstances had it in my life where, for a brief moment, I didn't have anywhere to stay. Here in Madison, Florida, I was from Gainesville. And I was sent here and something happened. I ended up living at the Johnson-Brinson Project Center. Okay, I stayed there for 3 years, and Mr. Dukes, no relative of mine by blood kinship, but by heart kinship, took me and he became my father. He taught me how to forgive. He taught me the essence of love. He taught me how to pull my parents up. He taught me how to expand my vocabulary. Listen, he taught me the importance of NASA. He took me to NASA. He taught me the importance of meeting somebody such as Naeem Akbar from the Florida State University. He, as a punishment, he made me learn the entire I Have a Dream speech. Not from I Have a Dream, but 500 years ago. And this particular speech I'm reciting tonight when I go back to Gainesville. Thank you for making me learn that. You saw all the different races. He taught me the importance of cultural diversity and what it meant that our society was weaved of a fabric of races and the importance of bridging together. And if you listen to some of the speeches of Dr. Martin Luther King, even in that speech on Washington, he acknowledged our white brothers and sisters that was there with us, even in that time, because without some of their dollars, the movement couldn't have been funded. Let's just be real. So I'm going to get ready to end. I'm going to sit down because I am long-winded. I am a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I can go all day. Okay, but I look out on the audience and I see my brother, see my big brother. I see my first cousin, Marcus Hawkins, my other first cousin, Marvin Mattier, and all the great work that they're all doing here in Madison. I see many of your faces. But I tell you this much, we must believe in our younger generation. Okay, we got to get rid of the mindset of the Mercedes and the Lexus and the BMWs and pick up the mindsets of a Honda Okay, in other words, the race is not given to the swift, but to he that endures. And we know that a Honda Civic can last us a lifetime. In other words, get out of that mode. Get out on the street corner. Stop criticizing the young man for having his pants pulled down and ask him, where's your mother? Where's your father? Do you understand where you come from? We must stop criticizing and reach out to this generation. Take them downtown to begin to fill out applications. Take them to the health department to get the proper documentations like a social security card, a birth certificate, things that we take for granted. Begin to reach out, step out, help, so that they can step into this reality that we call society and survive. That's what we must do. That's how we're going to restore the jewels of our society. And what did the Johnson Brinson Project do for me? Well, I got the opportunity to become a man. If I don't accomplish anything else in life, if you don't see my face on the television screens, if I'm never famous, well, guess what? I did the ultimate thing. I became a man. Okay? I became a man that understood what the village meant, that as a man, I must be the priest of my home. I must love my wife unconditionally like Christ loved the church. Okay, I must stand up and teach my daughters that you are a queen, as I hear my cousin Marvin Mattier talk about it in the books that he's written. You are a queen. Don't subject yourself, don't relegate yourself to ignorance. There's no board that can give you anything right now. You go to school and get your education. That's my job. No other man will be able to teach my daughter that. They'll know. Justice Jewel and Journey Alexander will understand what their last name means. And 2 days ago, God gave me one of the greatest gifts that I could ever imagine. He gave me a son. And my wife is not able to be here because she's there with my son, John Wayne Alexander III. He is a part of legacy, my legacy, his legacy, and the work that we've done. And now as a young man, I stand before you here today. I promised this man that when I became of age, I would give back. I wouldn't become so large and I forget where I come from. But God has granted me the opportunity to become the executive director of the Riker House Youth Academy of Gainesville, Florida. I have 133 young men under my leadership, and it is my job to do what he did for me, to now reciprocate that service to them. And it's one of the leading organizations in this country. It has now served as one of the national models for dealing with at-risk males. And I tell you this much, I dedicate my life to it. Not only that, he taught me the importance of education. I was an ESC student, okay, grades 1 through 8, but I had enough. I tested out, and when I got into high school, I tested to the honors program, and they told me that I was dumb. They told me I was deaf. They told me I was retarded. But he told me that I had hope. He told me I was intelligent. He told me I was smart enough. He told me that there was no better than me. He told me that if I put my mind to it, I could accomplish anything that I so desired. He told me that God had a greater expected end, and the hope that lies within me lies in the power of Jesus Christ. And I believe that. And even to this day, I continue my education at Santa Fe College. I continued on to the University of Florida. And I tell you, without the hope and the talk of this man, there's no way that I possibly could have done it. So I stand here today to say thank you for the opportunity to come and share these words. And I hope that the words that I said to you young men, when somebody's standing before you to teach you knowledge, there's 3 things you gotta do. You gotta sit up, open your eyes, open your ears, open your heart. Because words like these and the words that you've heard today are words that can be written in the tablets of your destiny so that you can accomplish anything that you set out to do. So once again, thank you for the opportunity to come and speak before you today. And I plan to come back. My goal, and I told him this 2 weeks ago, there will be another Johnson Brinson Project Center in Madison County. I am determined, along with my brothers, along with those that attended that center, we understand that it was a jewel in this community. And now it's on us. It's our watch. And we refuse to participate in life and fail to accept the social responsibilities of the struggles that he put on his back. And we will do it. Johnson Brinson Project will return to Madison, Florida. Thank you very much.